Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. Well, you know that the health field has been in the media and getting a lot of attention lately, and certainly a lot of attention when it comes to funding. But, you know, what I love about this show is we get to share some of the positive things when it comes to the healthcare field, and the Queensway Carleton Hospital has some exciting news, and I won't share it with you. I'll let Sherri Cope do that because she is the clinical manager of mental health at the Queensway Carleton Hospital. Welcome, Sherri. Great to have you here.
Thanks for being here.
And this is exciting news because, you know, we were speaking before the show and I said, you know, how proud I am with the fact, you know, just as humankind, we're talking more and more about mental health. We've come a long way over the last decade, haven't we, Sherri?
We really, really have. Absolutely. With our treatments, with our medication, with our approach to mental health, and also with reducing the stigma, a lot of more people are actually feeling more comfortable in getting treatment.
Yeah, and I mentioned funding's been in the news quite a bit lately, but I think, you know, again, a positive is we're starting to see, I mean, you can answer this better than I, Sherri, but certainly more money is going into mental health care,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes, it really is, and I find that absolutely amazing. We're talking about it more, it's getting more attention, which it really needs.
Well, let's talk about the exciting news at the Queensway Carleton Hospital.
Yes, so almost exactly a month ago, we moved into our brand new, state-of-the-art, absolutely therapeutic new unit at the Queensway Carleton Hospital. So previously to a month ago, mental health, the inpatient unit was located in the oldest unit in the hospital, which was in the 70s actually, and hadn't been renovated. So it was actually a medical unit.
Okay.
And we had 28 beds there. And it was very cramped, it was very dark, and it wasn't very therapeutic. And now we are in a gorgeous, 3 times the size, bright, airy, beautiful, brand new renovated unit created specially for mental health.
Interesting that you talk about that, you know, bright and colorful and airy, because, you know, I even think of, you know, the Royal Ottawa Mental Health Centre, what that used to look like, right? And you're describing what the Queensway Carleton psychiatric unit used to look like. I think we've come out of this time where it's, you know, this sterile and dark and gray environment where there's a realization that those things matter, right? You know, the color and airy and light and bright, and that has an effect on our mental health, doesn't it?
It really does. It really does. I mean, you can even just think yourself, if you're feeling sort of down in the dumps on a certain day, and you go outside and it's bright and it's beautiful, you have interactions with others. I mean, how do you feel after that, right?
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
Well, and people with seasonal affective disorder, SAD, that, you know, that again has gotten a lot more attention. Let's go back to talking about the unit itself. I understand you have 24 inpatient beds, and then you have 4 ICU, psychiatric ICU beds?
Yes, actually. So we have the regular unit, which is 24 beds, and they're all private rooms, which is fantastic for patients. They have their own beautiful bathroom. And so the patients at the end of the day, or if they're feeling a little bit overwhelmed during the day, have a nice place to retreat to. Now, we also have a 4-bed psychiatric intensive care unit, so that's what we call our PICU, and that is a very specialized care area, and it is, the staffing is very different as well. It's actually 3 staff for 4 patients. It has its own programming, and it's a little bit separate from the unit, so we would take our most acute patients and place them there for, we're thinking, around 6 days, probably just to stabilize them, and then they will transition back into the rest of the unit as well.
Let's expand on the rest of the unit. So, you know, you mentioned the private bedrooms, which is, I think, you know, a real key for people to have their privacy, but what services are offered within that unit?
So we have occupational therapy, we have recreational therapy, we have social work, we have nursing, we have psychiatry, of course, and we have general medical practitioners as well. So we have a whole care team that actually takes care of our patients. We have programming, we have activities that we do. We even have on the unit, it's a separate, well, it's connected, and it's actually an outside courtyard. That is all special glass, and so the patients can actually get some fresh air in the nicer weather. And we're going to be doing some programming outside as well.
Oh, that's a great idea.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, I mean, getting outside, you mentioned it, it can make a big difference. Let's talk about the efforts, you know, sort of behind the scenes, because things like this, there's a lot of work involved. Tell me about the efforts behind the scenes to make this a reality.
Well, it's about 7 years in the making. This unit, and it's actually started before I even joined the Queensway. I've been with the Queensway about 2 years now. and lots of planning. Architects, our facilities and plant department, the management at that time, a lot of benchmarking, a lot of best practice standards going into all the planning.
Right.
And then the actual execution of the units, all the contractors, and working through all of that, and the planning and the staffing, and it's been about 2 years of very intense work,
Right.
which has been so exciting, and nothing was better than waiting at the doors on that first patient day and accepting our first group of patients. It still gives me goosebumps. It was so fantastic.
Oftentimes you turn to the community to help fund projects like this.
Yes.
Was that the same in this instance?
Huge.
Yeah.
There was, it was a $15 million project.
Okay.
And a large chunk of that came from the community.
Not surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
And the work isn't done, right? There's
That's
further
right.
work to be done. The second floor, you're looking to create an outpatient unit, is that right?
Yes, which is absolutely integral. So right now we do have the inpatient unit that's moved up to the third floor of the hospital, but now the second floor is actually being renovated, and this is for our community.
Okay.
This is outpatient, so we have outpatient appointments with a psychiatrist. We're going to be doing day hospital programs where people will come in and spend hours every day in very intense programming. We're really looking at expanding that, all of those services, and having occupational therapy and recreation therapy and social work and things like that as well. So it's going to be really pivotal.
Dan and Barbara being a big part of this too, right? We should mention, maybe we just got a photo of both Dan and Barbara up on the screen there right now. Tell me how important they were in this project.
So amazing, so amazing. We actually had sort of a grand opening.
Okay.
And they were there, and the big celebration, and it was just fabulous.
When do you expect the second floor to be completed?
We're hoping a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Excellent.
hoping a year. So, and it's going to be 3 times the size of what it was.
Unbelievable.
So, and keeping people well in the community is so amazing. Actually treating people where they are,
Yeah.
and keeping them healthy in the community before they even get to the inpatient
Couldn't agree
unit.
more, Sherri. Thanks for joining us.
Yes,
Really
thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.